You know we're talking all about those animal facts, yeah. Animals, animals, talking all about those animals. Animals, animals, talking all about those animals.
Today on the podcast, we're talking about two things only: animals and the facts that relate to them.
You know we're talking all about those animal facts, yeah. I'm a cat. I'm an emu. I'm a seal. I'm an ostrich. I'm an ostrich. Animal facts, yeah.
Welcome back to Animal Facts, where we are always factual, always sensible. Today's animal that we will be discussing is the humble honeybee.
Oh,
The honey bee.
is that more of is it an animal or an insect?
We
Are insects not a type of animal?
don't discriminate here.
I was like, just like there's animals and then insects and then reptiles, and I'm like, man, like David Attenborough wouldn't have a lot to work with if
Not
that's
at all.
the definition.
You're
You know?
getting confused with mammals.
Oh fuck! I'll just shut the fuck up then.
Yeah, sorry to come at you hard. I'm new here, and I'm just like, you fucking idiot. Like,
That's all right. But if it's not,
You
if
fucking dumb cunt.
I am confused by that because, like animals, right? The animal kingdom made up of many different types of animals, bees being one of them, and the honeybee, to be precise.
Yeah,
How many
the
different
animal
types
umbrella.
of bees are there?
well, there's heaps of
Many.
bees, man. And I was gonna clarify. I was gonna be fucking nerdy because my dad's got bees in the backyard. Like, do you guys? I assume you guys have dads, but maybe not as strange as mine.
Yeah.
I thought
He's
there were
like-
only two. There's lowercase and uppercase.
Wow. Wow. That's where we're starting. Well, no, this is like he's got native Australian bees and they look like ants, but apparently they're very important because the Australian bee population got colonized by the European bees also.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's
they,
insane.
those European bees started coming in. The Australian bees were like, "Fuck off, we're full."
Yeah. And the European bees are big and they brought with them Christianity and capitalism. And bees are fucked. Like, it's a real problem.
genocidal, like sort of like vibes. Just,
I'm not even kidding. They're way bigger than the Australian bees, so they just fucked them up.
Who the
And,
fuck's
like, now
bringing
we've got to
Europe?
bring
Who
that.
brought European bees over?
Dude, on the ships, like they just. I don't know.
There's one of the the fleets going on the high seas.
Why did they have
and
to
there's
fly?
some
Why
cunt-
did they have to go
there's
on a
some cunt
ship?
in
Couldn't they just fly
in
over?
a beekeeper suit, like easy there, easy. You roll the bees up.
I think I might be the dumb cunt now because I just assumed they were on the ship, and then you're like, couldn't they just fly? And I'm like, that's a pretty good point.
It's a long way to fly,
More
though.
sense than like just like, yeah, we're going to settle Australia, turn it into a prison. Someone bring the aviary guy. Wait, is that a bee? What? Is it an aviary? Is that bird?
How the fuck did you get here?
Yeah,
My
just
phone.
there, like in his like mesh thing, and the bees on the arms,
Yeah,
being
that's
like, 3 months of bee. I can't believe they keep finding plants. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Who was the botanist that came with the first fleet?
Bly? No.
I guess we're not doing history facts.
Matt
are we?
Damon?
We're doing animal facts.
Matt Damon. I was going to say Charles Darwin, and I was like, nah, that's not the guy.
He had
Yeah.
something to do with animals.
I think it might have been Bly on the Bounty. Was that? Or was the Bounty the one that got shipwrecked and they all ate each other like Lord of the
No,
Flies?
that's when you box of favourites and there's only bounties left because no one wants them.
Fucking shit, coconut. God
Bounties are
damn.
the fucking best ones. They're actually not in favourites. They're actually in celebrations, so you can fuck off.
Ah,
Man. I never thought Peroxide Blonde and like an affection towards coconut would line up like that. That was
yeah, towards confection.
for that 100.
His
Let me tell you
favourite
the
one is
real
also
animal fact
Coco
here.
Jumbo. So
Coco
it
Jumbo.
all lines up.
Here's
Okay,
the real
so-
fact.
Yeah,
The real
yeah,
one.
give me-
Okay, so honeybees have a dance move called the waggle dance. It's not actually a dance move at all, rather a clever way of communicating between themselves to tell their nestmates where to go to find the best source of food. It took the researchers at Sussex University 2 years to decode the waggle dance.
Wow.
They're pretty small, I guess.
I love the idea of these scientists just watching these bees like dancing around with they've got the lab coats on and they're just taking notes. And fucking 2 years later, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's a dance."
Imagine if the bees were smart enough to know that they were examining them, and they were like, within 6 months, they were like, "I reckon we've got it." And then some bees like, "Fucking, let's just throw one other thing in there just to fuck them for a bit."
Or they sent out like Simple Johnny who just likes to dance, and it's like they just sent him out while everyone else went off and did their job. So just let Johnny go out there, and he bloody loves
It's been a while since I preferred simple use like that. I really enjoyed it. But in my head, I was like, that is actually the origin of the phrase dance. Like, nobody's watching. It's just these bees like, nah, mate, just go for it. Like, don't worry about him. He's all
just distract him while we take over the world. Is it true that if all the bees died, that all human existence would die? I've heard that before.
Yeah.
To find out, really, isn't it?
I think I learnt that from Jerry Seinfeld.
In the Bee Movie.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was like, what episode is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
The Indian giving episode of Seinfeld.
About the bees.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jerry and George go to find out about climate change. Yeah, it's a hot app. But no, that's true, isn't it? I'm with you.
I mean,
I reckon that was actually on the press junket. Jerry Seinfeld was like, if all the bees go, then we go. He's talking about a movie.
I honestly couldn't tell you if that's true or not. I'm completely taking Jerry Seinfeld animated
value.
as a bee as 100% facts.
Sure.
It looked like you were fucking confident about that, Dan. You were like, yeah, fucking oath.
No, I'm backing Chibs in because, like, I swear it's because they pollinate all the flowers. So if all the bees die, then none of the flowers get pollinated, and then it doesn't get spread. You know what I mean? The seed.
It's a noble thing to say. If the bees die, then we all die. But like, if anything completely gets wiped out suddenly.
No, there'd be heaps of shit you could wipe out suddenly and it wouldn't matter at all. If all the elephants died, who gives a fuck?
We've done it.
Make any
Fucking ivory
difference to me, does it?
What are they going to live on?
We've killed so many animals, man. Like, I don't know if you know, like the
Heaps of them.
Tasmanian tiger dead. We're fine. Like, fuck them.
If anything, we're safer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think of all the babies that those Tasmanian tigers were eating every year, Bevo.
Yeah,
you don't
now-
give a fuck about the babies.
And then the babies explode in population, and then the fucking cane toads don't have anywhere to live, and then they can't eat the cane beetle.
Yeah, but
It's a knock-on effect.
And if your plane crashes in the mountains, like Dan said earlier, there's heaps of people to eat. And the circle of life continues.
This has been a quick departure from facts, you know?
If it's said out loud on this podcast, it's a fact.
Let me steer it back then, because we're gonna actually ask the real questions here. We've got three questions, three important questions. First of all, what sound do you think the honeybee makes? Yep, that sounds about right.
That's the sound.
All right.
Yeah.
Second question:
Yeah.
do you think you could beat a honeybee in a fight?
One?
Just one.
Yeah.
Is it the queen, though? Because if it's the queen, then all the other cunts are coming, you know? Like, it's not just you and them.
You might win the first fight, but you're not going to win the next 1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it may say that there's only one, but the queen does come with comrades. So
Exactly. Like that
kinda
kind
feel
of
like-
high school, like, you know, I call the cousins situation. You know what I mean? It's like, you might win, but it's going to cost you.
I feel like I'm going to manipulate that question in future to how many of this animal do you think you could beat?
Yeah. If you're throwing a bee out at us, we can fuck a bee up for sure.
Yeah, it'd sting you if you're allergic.
Mortine it,
Fuck.
mate. Get the Mortine out.
Okay, the final, most important question: do you think you could stick this animal up your ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 100%.
I think so.
Sting risk. Minus
Yeah.
sting risk.
Ring
You know,
sting.
It's that waggle dance, mate. I do my own waggle dance right on top of them.
Someone told me a joke once. It was like, oh, I had heaps of spicy Indian last night. Oh, ring sting. What's he going to fucking do about it?
Ring sting.
I no longer feel entitled to be here, so I'm going to go.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning into Animal Facts. Stay tuned next week when we talk about another animal and its facts.
You know we're talking all about those animal facts, yeah.
What a sign off.
What was that ring sting bit? Like,
The joke.
I'm a comedian by trade. I know
Professional
jokes
comedian.
professionally.
Sting from the police. Ring him.
But I think you said you went out for Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ring
They had
stings when
nothing
you-
to do with each other. Like, if you went out on stage then and tried to tell that, it wouldn't go well.
Like, yeah, I mean, that much I know. But I'd like to
I
at least
went out for
understand.
Yorkshire puddings and, yeah, and then I ring sting.
Dude, I'm like, I was genuinely like, my wife's niece was like telling us jokes on the phone and like they made no sense, but I got them. Whereas that one, I've got no, like, I'm so glad I didn't make a dick.
I think Ryan got away there by saying a friend once told me.
Yeah. Good one. I didn't just write
It's
this.
a good joke. I just probably didn't tell it right.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, I thought you were going to go full American history Bev on us then when you started with Indian food. I was like, uh-oh. Oh, just Dan's screen just goes black and cuts off. Can't be involved with this.
Hi everyone, it's Dan here from 1001 Songs That Make You Want to Die. I'm here today to let you know that our podcast is now available on Patreon. That's right, for as little as $2 a month, you can now support this podcast rather than listen to it for free, effectively stealing the food out of the mouths of our starving children. There's one of them now. So why not join us on Patreon? You get bonus stuff each month, and you can even be a guest on the podcast if you want. Now, doesn't that sound better than making our poor children starve? Oh, kids are great, aren't they? Anyway, on with today's episode.